There's a lot here, so I will try to work my way through it deliberatively. I guess my first question, do you know roughly how many sections of law we're amending today with this bill?
Excuse me, I have to take off my shoes to count. 57 sections.
Well, those are being added. That's how many sections are contained in the bill. Within each one of those, there are amendments, there are deletions, there are alterations to
Yes.
other sections, articles, and chapters of law. Do you know roughly how many?
We didn't count them. I'm sorry, Mr. Jordan.
And my concern becomes, and I will try to only make this point once, we received this bill just over 14 hours ago, and my understanding is already we've identified several problems that are going to have to be corrected through chapter amendment, significant problems. And that is the type of event that occurs when we fail to deliberate and follow the process. My understanding is, when does this new law, if it were to pass today and be signed, when does it become effective?
There's different effective dates for different sections, so if you ask me a specific section, I can give it to you.
How many different effective dates are there, do you know?
5 different effective dates. 5 or 6, I'm told.
Or perhaps more. When does the ban on the, and I'll try to use a short phrase, but the ammunition ban, when does that take effect?
High capacity clips is immediate. And the assault weapons ban is 90 days.
Okay, but the ammo ban is, did you say immediate or in 90 days?
The 94 clips, pre-94 clips are immediate. The magazines that hold more than 10 rounds.
And the assault weapon ban, you say takes effect in 90 days?
That's correct.
And what happens after after that 90th day? So on the 91st day, what is the lawful owner of a gun that has been deemed to fit the category here? What happens at that point? What do they have to do? Do they have to burn it, turn it in? What happens at that point?
You have 1 year to register that weapon before it becomes illegal.
And who do they register that with?
State police.
Okay, and so will the state police have a registration system in place in 90 days?
Yes, they will. They told us they will.
Well, can you tell me under your...
This bill was not drafted in an ivory tower. The governor chose to have the state police, who know more about weaponry than we do, provide most of the provisions that are contained in the bill with respect to weapons.
How long does the state police superintendent have to create this registry under your bill? Or under
90 days. They have 90 days to perfect it.
I actually would suggest you may check closer. I believe he has 1 year to create the registry database. So
they tell us they're going to be ready in 90 days, however.
Well, they may tell you that, but I'm asking under the language of the bill.
We've given them leeway, so there is a year provision, but they're ready in 90 days.
So on the 91st day, when a current lawful, law-abiding citizen who happens to learn about the existence of this bill goes online to register and there's nothing to register, what are they to do at that point?
Well, they can mail in a form.
What form?
Form that will be provided online or by the state police.
Well, that's assuming it's ready. I'll move on. Within the bill, I think we look to expand the definition of assault weapon, and we add a couple of new criteria. One of them is a second hand grip. Admittedly, I only had 14 hours to search, so it certainly was not an exhaustive search. What is the legal definition in New York of a second hand grip?
What? I don't think there's a legal definition. It's a factual determination.
Okay,
so what constitutes a second hand grip?
And so at what point are we going to provide our businesses in New York State with guidance statutorily as to what constitutes a second-hand grip, so they know whether or not an otherwise lawful rifle is now deemed unlawful under this statute. Is there any provision in this to provide them with that guidance?
No, there isn't, but
Thank you. Is there a definition in this bill for what constitutes a protruding grip, which I believe is another new addition that we have added?
protruding grip. I'm informed by counsel that the state police, in their wisdom, have agreed to provide a website which will tell the public as well as the manufacturers what is legal.
And will the state police website have the effect of law?
No, it'll have the effect of
Okay,
regulation, I presume.
Trying to move along then, you know, we talk about this registry, and let's imagine that the state police is able to produce this registry timely. I understand that the governor put out in his perhaps State of the State or recently that he believes there are over 1 million of these what they call assault rifles currently in New York State. Did we ask the superintendent of the state police, who are admittedly greatly understaffed with 4 years of no new classes, continued underfunding perhaps in the budget, whether they have the capacity and manpower and staffing to receive, process, and handle over 1 million registrations in 365 calendar days?
Well, I'm glad you're concerned about that, but I know that the governor, it's his agency, and he has asked the state police about it, and they say that they can do it.
And what happens when they're not able to? And so we're now at the 1 year after the 91st day, and somebody goes to register that assault rifle, and they are, you know, and they are unable to, and then there's a reason that they have an encounter with the police. Perhaps they're on their way to a shooting range, and they have this what is now deemed in New York an assault rifle safely locked and secured in the rear of their car, and they're now arrested and charged with either a misdemeanor or a felony, I suspect, for failure to properly register. Is there a defense in this bill to that failure to register?
There's no defense, but you're speculating.
You're
speculating about what would happen, and you know, the legislature, in its wisdom, if that were to occur, could come up with what we come up with in the past, and that is extenders.
Right. Could, but no guarantee. And so what we're doing, and my concern is, and I recognize you know, and I appreciate the challenge you have because you did not write the entire scope of this bill, but nor have we had a proper opportunity to air it in the light of day and through proper public discourse. But we're taking law-abiding citizens and we are making them criminals. And I have seen in this House and in New York plenty of times where he've recreated requirements that they're not capable of meeting, and that ends up falling on the backs of the citizens.